as the play of the life of Buddha depicts, in 624 BC, Buddha Shakyamuni was born as a royal prince in a place called Lumbini, in what was then northern India.
It is certain that he will become a Buddha and that his beneficial influence will pervade 1,000 million worlds like the rays of the sun.
In his early years, he lived as a prince in the royal palace. But when he was 29, he retired to the forest, where he followed a spiritual life of meditation.
Father, if you can grant me permanent freedom from the sufferings of birth, aging, sickness, and death, then I will stay in the palace. But if you cannot, then I must go and make my life truly meaningful.
I now vow that I will not rise from meditation until I attain perfect enlightenment.
After 6 years, he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya and became a Buddha. Buddha then gave many teachings, explaining how to find lasting inner peace and happiness for oneself, and how to help others do the same.
You should know suffering. You should abandon origins. You should attain cessations. You should practice the path.
These teachings and practices, known as the Dharma, flourished in Asia, at first in India and then gradually in other surrounding countries, passing from generation to generation in an unbroken lineage of realized teachers. In the middle of the 11th century, a great Indian Buddhist teacher called Atisha was invited to Tibet by the Tibetan king to teach the people how to practice the pure teachings of Buddha. Atisha was warmly welcomed by the Tibetans, who sincerely took his teachings to heart. His followers became known as Kadampas, which means those who take Buddha's teachings to heart and put them into practice in their daily lives.
We can learn how to control our mind and always keep a good motivation in our heart.
A great Buddhist master called Je Tsongkhapa appeared in Tibet. Je Tsongkhapa promoted and developed the Kadampa Buddhism that had been passed down by Atisha's followers, making it very accessible to the people of that time. And as a result, the teachings spread widely throughout Tibet and neighboring countries. His followers, who became known as the New Kadampas, were responsible for preserving these pure Buddhist teachings through the centuries down to the present day. In 1977, the contemporary Kadampa Buddhist master, Geshe Kelsang Gyatso, was invited to Conishead as the resident teacher. His own teacher, Trijang Rinpoche, who was the lineage holder of modern Kadampa Buddhism, had encouraged him to accept the invitation, saying he had important work to do to promote Kadampa Buddhism throughout the modern world. A sincere follower of Je Tsongkhapa, Geshe Kelsang had been a monk since the age of 8 and had already spent almost 40 years in study and retreat, gaining profound understanding and experience of Buddha's teachings. The long days spent restoring Conishead were inspired by the presence of Geshe Kelsang. At the beginning and end of the working day, the community would gather at his feet to listen to his teachings. Geshe-la, as he became affectionately known, taught widely on all aspects of Buddhism. He presented these teachings in such a way that made them easy for modern people to understand and put into practice. As a result, Western people quickly learned that Buddha's teachings had a direct application to their lives, helping them to solve their daily problems, develop inner peace, and show a good heart to others. Geshe Kelsang's reputation gradually spread, and more people came to Conishead, at first from the UK and then from countries throughout the world, to listen to him and study with him. In 1997, Conishead witnessed the most dramatic change to date when the first Kadampa Buddhist temple for world peace was built on the site of the old market garden. Designed and inspired by Geshe Kelsang and based on traditional Buddhist architecture, this holy place houses a large shrine which includes the largest bronze Buddha ever cast in the West. According to Buddhist beliefs, just seeing the temple and beholding the blessed statues inside places special impressions on the mind that will later give rise to profound inner peace and happiness. The temple hosts major events throughout the year, including international Buddhist festivals and an international Kadampa Buddhist teacher training program. In 1998, the Ulverston Town Council presented a merit award to the centre for the architectural design of the temple. Based on this success, Geshe Kelsang established the International Temples Project, with the vision to build a Kadampa temple for world peace in every major city in the world. To date, Geshe Kelsang has written over 20 highly acclaimed books on all aspects of Kadampa Buddhism, which have been translated into many different languages. Hundreds of thousands have already been sold throughout the world. The proceeds from these books are dedicated to the International Temples Project. Conishead Priory has now become a major international centre, the mother centre of a global network of over 1,000 Kadampa Buddhist centres, all founded by Geshe Kelsang at the request of local people. Hundreds of teachers, both ordained and lay, trained by Geshe Kelsang, now teach programs he has devised in over 40 countries around the world.